Good morning. Welcome to today's gentle yoga practice. Today we will be doing our yoga on a chair. So if you have a chair and if you've got a block or two, so you want to make sure that your chair is sturdy and on a surface that's not going to slip around. If you don't have a sturdy chair or you're not on a surface that's not going to slip around, make sure you've got a wall nearby for, we're going to do a couple planks on the side and the front and the back, and you're going to want some stability for that. And we are going to start feet flat on the ground. You can come to the edge of your chair so that your feet can be flat, sitting bones pressing into the chair. And as you press through your sitting bones, feel yourself rise, feel the crown of your head move up. Lower belly lifts, chin comes in just a bit, and your hands can rest lightly on your thighs or your lap, wherever is comfortable. I invite you to go ahead and close your eyes, if that feels all right, and begin to restrict your breath to your nose. So we'll move the breath in and out through our nostrils as you are able. Connecting with the ground through our feet, connecting with the chair through our sitting bones, and connecting with the breath by moving the breath in and out through your nostrils. And just take a couple more breaths like this. A smooth and steady pace. Doesn't have to be too deep, just smooth and steady. Good. And before we begin moving through our asana yoga poses, we're going to begin with some alternate nostril breathing. So you can take your pointer and your middle finger and press it against the top of your nose between your eyebrows, gently. And then you can use your thumb to close one side of your nostril, and then you'll use your ring finger on the other. So let's begin by closing the right nostril. Go ahead and exhale out the left. And then keeping the right nostril closed, go ahead and inhale through the left nostril. Top of the inhale, release the right nostril, close off the left, and exhale out the right. Go ahead and inhale through that right nostril. Release the left, close off the right, and exhale out the left nostril. And you can go ahead and inhale through that left side. And on the exhale, release the right, close off the left. You can go ahead and do several of these, moving at your own pace. You'll switch nostrils on each exhale. You'll inhale through one side, exhale to switch, and then inhale through that same side. I'll give you a minute or so to move at your own pace. If at any time you become dizzy or lightheaded, just resume a normal breathing rhythm. Very good. You can bring your hand back down to your leg and take a couple more breaths, just moving in and out through your nostrils at a smooth and steady pace. And we'll attempt to keep the breath moving smoothly in and out through your nose for the duration of this practice. You can go ahead and open your eyes if they were closed. We'll go ahead and move through a couple side stretches. So holding on to the right side of your chair, inhale to grow tall through the left arm, and exhale to lean to the right, stretching that left side. Keeping your shoulders in the same line so we're not bringing the left shoulder forward or back. Keeping them on the same line. Keeping length through your spine as you bend to the right side. And on your next inhale, come back up. You can exhale to lower the left arm. And inhale to raise the right arm, going nice and tall, pressing through both sitting bones. And lean to the left, keeping both your sitting bones glued to the chair. Allow yourself to soften a little on each exhale. And feel yourself growing tall on the inhales. And on your next inhale, grow nice and tall, come back to center. And exhale to lower the right arm. Inhale to lift the left. And exhale to bend to the right. Inhale back to center. Exhale to lower. Inhale to raise the right arm. And exhale to bend to the left. And inhale back to center. And exhale to lower. Good. Gently place your left hand on top of your head. Bring your right arm straight out to the side. And then gently stretch your neck to the left. Only moving till you feel a gentle sensation, but no pain. Continue to keep the breath flowing as we release some tension in the neck. Good. Release. Put your right hand on top of your head. Extend your left arm out and gently stretch to the right. Again, you want to feel a sensation, but you don't want it to be painful. So find that edge. Moving deep enough that you are feeling it a little bit, but not so deep that you're moving into any kind of pain. Continue to breathe. Good. Then come back to center. We're going to go ahead and lift the elbows and place your fingers on top of your shoulders. Pull your elbows away from yourself and then lower your shoulders away from your ears. And as much as possible, keeping your shoulders down, we're going to make gentle circles with the elbows. You can start circling backwards. Keep your lower belly lifted and the crown of the head pulling up. Try to keep your shoulders down. Then reverse and go the other direction, moving the circles forward. Good. Lower your arms. I'm going to move my chair so you can see, but you can stay how you are. We're going to move through some seated cat-cows. So with your feet flat on the ground, hands on your knees, on an inhale, we'll bring the chest forward and lift the chin, drawing the belly forward. And exhale to round the upper back, pulling the belly button back toward the spine, dropping the chin. Inhaling to bring the chest and the belly forward, lifting the chin. And exhale to lower the chin, round the shoulders and the upper back, and pull the belly back. Inhale to a seated cow, and exhale to to arch like a cat. And just go ahead and move through a few of these, moving with your breath. Not too fast. Smooth and steady. Just gently waking up the spine and building mobility in the spine. Good. And go ahead and come back to neutral. And we'll go ahead and extend one foot straight out. So you've got, I'm going to put my right heel straight in front of me. If you'd like, you can put 1 or 2 blocks underneath your heel to bring that leg up a little bit. And we'll inhale to draw the spine up and exhale to begin to gently fold forward. You can rest your hands on your thighs, you can put them on your hips, or you can even hold on to the back of your chair. If the right leg is a little bit bent, that's fine. Try to keep your spine straight if you can. And keep breathing. Do this gentle forward fold. Good. And on your next inhale, come back up to center. And we'll switch legs. If you're on the block, you can move it over to the left a little bit. Place your heel on top of the block. Inhale to grow tall through the spine. And exhale to begin to fold forward. And on the forward fold, I was hinging at the hips rather than at the lower back. So you can see this, I've got my back bend right here. We're trying to avoid that. So we're hinging at the hips, moving forward only as much as we can with a straight spine. You can keep that left foot flexed, and if you need to have a little bend in the left leg, that is fine. Continue to breathe. Breathing allows us to move just a little bit deeper into our stretches. But again, always listen to your body and stop at your edge, the point where you're feeling sensation, but not pain. One more breath on this side. Good. And release. And we're going to bring the feet a little wider than the chair. And if you like here, you can put the blocks in front of you to place your hands on. You can also stack the blocks and turn them so that you can put your both blocks a little bit higher up. If you'd like a little bit of a deeper forward bend, you can put your feet on the blocks. Or you can not use the blocks at all, whatever you'd like. So we're going to put the hands on the knees. We're going to inhale to grow tall, and we'll exhale to move forward, leading with the chest, to drop the hands down to the blocks. Keeping both feet flat on the ground, we'll move the right hand so it's directly under our nose, and we'll begin to lift the left arm up to twist gently to the left. If you like, you can put your hands on your lower back. Make sure you feel that your left hip's not rising. And also just make sure that left leg is still connected with the chair. And that helps keep the stretch and the twist in the upper back. And continue to move the breath in and out through your nose. We'll do 2 more breaths on this side. Good. And return to center. Place your left hand where your right hand was, directly under your nose. And then you can begin to lift the right arm up or put it on your hip, opening your chest to the right. Again, you can put your hand on your lower back to make sure your hips aren't lifting. And that helps keep the twist in the upper back. We'll take a couple deep breaths here. And return to center. And go ahead and slowly, leading with the chest, come back up. Good. Now again, you can keep your chair where it is. I'm going to turn so that you can see me better. We're going to move into a goddess pose with the block. So you can put the block up and down like this. And we're going to try to bring your soles of your feet together to squish the block. Now if you would like, you can use 2 blocks or 1, or you can use none and just bring your feet straight together. Or if they don't reach, you can just put them flat on the ground and place your hands on your thighs. So find a variation that's going to work for you. You can put your hands on your hips, lightly on your knees, or you can hold on to the back of your chair. If you've got that block, try to press into the block with both feet. Keep the chest open and the crown of the head pulling up. And take a few slow, deep breaths. A nice hip opener, a little bit of a leg strengthener. And one more smooth and steady breath. Good. And slowly bring the knees together, bring your feet flat to the ground. Go ahead and grab your blocks. We're going to move to standing. So go ahead and stand and turn to face your chair. I'm going to show you a variation of downward facing dog with a block or even with 2 blocks. Start with 2. So we'll step, so we're a couple feet back from the chair. We're going to inhale to grow tall and exhale, leading with the chest to fold forward, placing your hands on the back of the chair. Adjust your feet so that they're directly under your hips. And if you'd like, you can lower your head down to the blocks. You can use 1 block or 2 blocks. Or if you've got extra mobility and you want to bring your forehead all the way down to the chair, that's fine too. Feel both feet pressing down through the ground. Lift through those thighs, tightening your thighs and pulling them up toward your hips. And if you'd like to have a bend in your legs here, that's completely fine. You can even hold on to the back of the chair if that's a little bit easier on your arms and your shoulders. Let's take 2 more breaths in this gentle inversion. Good. Go ahead and bend the legs. Put your hands on the front of the chair to support yourself to come up to stand. Very good. We're going to go ahead and move now into our planks with the chair. And this is where you want to make sure that your chair is nice and stable. And if you don't feel like it is, please use a wall instead of the chair. I don't want anybody's chairs to slip. So we're going to bring the chair to the edge of the mat and step farther away. And we're going to start with a forward plank. So go ahead and bend your knees. Bring your hands to the edge of the chair. Hold on and then begin to shift your shoulders over your wrists. And then you can walk your feet back a little bit to try to create a nice long line between the crown of your head and your heels. And if you're doing this on a wall, you can just step your feet away from the wall and lean forward as far as you like. You can adjust the angle as much as you'd like. So we're going to hold for about 5 breaths, and if you need to take a break at any point, feel free to do so. Try to keep your core engaged, collarbone wide, crown of the head lifted away from your heels, creating that nice long line of energy. You begin to shake a little bit. It's okay as long as you still feel stable. Don't want anybody slipping. If you feel yourself weakening, please go ahead and come out of the pose. Good. And bring one foot and then the other close to the chair. Bend your legs and come up to stand. Very good. We're going to move into a side pose now, a side plank pose. And again, if you're using the wall, you can just step away from the wall and bring your hand toward the wall and adjust your feet out away so that you're at an angle where you feel, you probably can't see me too well, but where you feel supported by the wall. Again, trying to keep that nice long line of energy. Otherwise, if you're wanting to use the chair, you can bring your right foot in, go ahead and bend the right leg, place your hand on the chair, and then you can either keep this one foot bent, lift the arm straight up overhead or put it on the hip, or if you're feeling stable, you can walk your feet so that they're stacked. And see how my shoulder was kind of going in toward my ear. I'm going to lift up so that my ear is pulled away, so I'm pulling out of my shoulder and breathing here. Again, feel free to modify, bending the right leg or leaning against a wall, wherever you're feeling the most stable today. And if you'd like an extra challenge, you can always go down to the floor for these, but you can still get a really nice strengthening, get some really nice strengthening work using the chair here. Good. Bring your right leg back in, keeping it bent. Bring your hand to your hip and come up to stand. And then we'll switch and go to the other side. Again, you can just switch sides if you're using the wall. Otherwise, I'm going to place the left hand on the chair, starting with the right leg extended, left leg bent. And you can stay right here, or if you're feeling okay, you can extend your left leg, stack the right leg on top, pull out of that shoulder so you're not collapsing like this. And you can lift the right arm up if that feels okay. So find a left side plank that's going to work for you for today. And then turn your attention to your breath, moving it in and out through your nose. One more breath. Good. Bend the left leg and come up to stand. Very good. All right, we're going to do the tabletop version now. So we're going to start with our hands on the chair. We're holding on to the front of the chair, and we'll slowly begin to walk the legs forward. Now you might choose to stay right here, with your hips just in front of your hands, your feet flat underneath your knees, and your legs bent. Or if you'd like, you can continue to walk the legs forward and lift the hips up with your shoulders directly over your hands. Pressing through your feet, lifting your hips and keeping your collarbone wide and lifted. You can keep your head in neutral here. And take those slow, deep, even breaths. Again, feel free to take breaks or to bend your legs, whatever is going to work for you. There's also a gentle upper back bend. And one more breath here. Good. If your legs are extended, walk them back. You can bring your hips back to the seat. And then go ahead and come up to stand. We're going to do tree pose now with the chair for some extra stability. So with your right hand on the chair, left hand on your hip, bring your weight into your right foot. Press down through your foot, the front, the back, the middle, the sides. As you feel yourself pressing through your foot, feel yourself grow tall, rooting down to rise, and then turn your left foot out so that your toes are resting on the ground, your big toe, with your ankle on the left side of your inner right leg. And you can stay here, or you can bring your foot to your calf, or even lift it up to your inner thigh. Just keep it off of your knee. And with your hand on the chair, this is a good time to feel if you are sinking into that left hip, allowing that right hip to open and to hug this right hip so it's directly underneath you, and wrap the left hip under you. So this is a nice big hip opener on the left leg. If you're feeling nice and stable and you'd like to try balancing, you can let go of the chair, bringing your hands to heart center or rising them up overhead. And the nice thing is you've got that chair nearby, so if you begin to topple a little bit, you can just return your hand to the chair. And let's do 3 breaths on this side. Good. And bring your hands back down. Turn this left knee back in, and then lower it to the ground. You can switch your chair to the other side. Shift your weight to your left. Hold on to the left side of the chair, hand on your hip. Turn that right leg out, so you're wrapping the right hip underneath you, keeping this left hip pulling in so that it's not pulling down toward your chair. And lift that up, wrap the right hip underneath, and you can stay here. You can bring it up to your calf, or you can bring it up to your inner thigh. Any of those options are wonderful. Just find the one that works for you. Keep that right hip wrapping under, and the left hip pulling in so that it's not sagging to the left. Good. And when you're feeling nice and stable, fix your eyes on one focal spot, and you can, if you'd like, try to let go of the chair. Bringing your arms wherever they'd like to go, whether that's your hips or your heart center or up overhead. Lower belly lifted, and your shoulders moving away from your ears. And keep a little micro bend in that left leg so you're not hyperextending the left knee. And one more smooth breath on this side. Ooh. Good. Your hands back down. Gently turn the right leg back in and lower. Very good. We're going to move into a warrior pose with the chair. So with the feet wide apart, you can put your left hand on your hip, your right hand on the chair. We're going to externally rotate the right foot so that the right toes are facing the chair, and begin to bend the knee. Left toes are facing forward, and you want to try to bring your left knee over your left ankle. And just like in tree pose, we're wrapping this right hip under and pulling this left thigh up. You can extend your arms straight out if you'd like, and turn to gaze over your right fingertips, and we'll hold warrior 2 for 3 breaths. And press through both feet. Turn your hand to your chair, left hand to your hip, straighten the leg, turn the right leg in, and then switch to bring the chair over to the other side. I'll walk my legs over a little bit, and then we'll externally rotate the left hip so that the left toes are pointing toward the chair, right toes are facing directly forward. Go ahead and bend that left knee so that it's directly over the ankle. Wrapping the left hip underneath, lifting and straightening this thigh. And you can straighten your arms if you'd like and turn to gaze over your left fingertips. And we'll hold here for 3 breaths. Making sure your knee isn't falling in, but is pointing the same direction as your left toes. Good. And on your next exhale, go ahead and stand. Turn your toes forward. Begin to heel toe your feet back together and turn to face the chair. We'll do a little bit of a quad stretch. Hold on to the chair with your left leg and then grab the top of your right foot. Bring your knees close to one another if you can. Lift your chest and just try to feel a nice stretch through your left quad, and we'll take 3 breaths before switching to the other side. Good. Release the right foot, and your right hand to your chair, and then hold on to the top of the left foot with the left hand, bringing your left and right knees close together, lifting and broadening through the chest, and breathing. And keep your lower belly lifted so you're not arching or rounding forward with your stomach here, but pulling it in. Keeping that nice spine alignment. Good. And release. Very nice. And we'll walk the feet back just a little bit and bring them about as wide as the chair. Put your left hand on the chair. You want your left, or not your left hips, your hips over your ankles, and we're going to drop the right arm. And we're just going to make some circles with the right arm. And we'll rotate and go the other direction. Good. And then we'll switch sides. Hold on to the chair with your right hand, drop your left, and let your left hand make circles, big or small, whatever feels good. And switch and rotate the other direction. Good. Bring both hands to the chair. Bend your knees and come up to stand. Go ahead and turn the chair now. We're going to make our way to the ground, and we're going to move nice and slowly. So put one foot in front of the other and slowly bend both knees. You hold on to the chair for support and let one knee and then the other come to the ground. You bring your hips to your heels. And then slowly lift, going onto one hip to swing your feet out in front. And walk your hips close to the chair. Lie down on your back. And bring your calves onto the chair. And I'm going to give you the option here for a bridge pose on the chair. If you prefer to skip that, you're welcome to go ahead and just stay right here. This is a wonderful pose for your lower back. But if you'd like to try the bridge pose on the chair, if you've got your blocks handy, you can do a supported bridge pose. Or if you'd like to work your muscles a little bit more, you can skip the block. But you're going to bring your feet so that the top of your feet are working toward the chair, so that when you press through, scooch back a little bit, when I press through my heels, I can work my whole foot toward the chair, and then I can slide a block upwards or even 2 blocks underneath my sacrum, under my pelvis. You don't want it on your lower back. You want it supporting your hips and your pelvis, and you can press down through your arms for a little bit more stability. And like I said, you're welcome to just skip this on altogether if you prefer to just stay in that nice legs on the chair pose, which is really nice for your lower back. Or you can stay in the bridge pose. And again, you can do it without the block, pressing through your arms, pressing through the top of your feet, and you can even move with the breath, lowering on an exhale, and pressing through the feet on an inhale. Any of those options are wonderful. You pick what's best for you for today. Good. And one more breath if you're working in bridge. Good. And then we'll all come in to the resting pose, with our calves resting on the chair, our hips worked toward the chair, holding chairs. Might as well need to fold up a little bit. It's all right. So with your hips, your lower back on the ground, your calves resting on the chair, shoulders resting on the ground. You can even walk your shoulder blades together. Extend your hands out so that your palms are turned upward. And we'll take a few minutes here to just allow our body, mind, and breath to come to stillness. As we come to stillness in the body, that creates space for us to become still in the breath. And as we become still in the breath, we can begin to allow our mind to become still. And your mind may not become still, and that is completely okay. If you prefer to keep your eyes open here, you're always welcome to do that as well. Allow your breath to be smooth, but it doesn't have to be too deep. Allow the floor and the chair to support your body. And if you are pregnant here, you don't want to stay on your back for too long. You can roll onto your left side or even go up and sit comfortably in your chair. can bring your awareness back to your room and gently move your fingers and your toes. Slowly open your eyes if they were closed and begin to bring your knees in towards your chest so that you can roll slowly onto one side and use your hands to move slowly and help you come up to a comfortable seated position. Well, thank you so much for joining me for today's chair yoga practice, and I look forward to practicing with you again soon.